everybody, and welcome back to United Stand. Evan Ferguson is the discussion today. 18-year-old Irish striker at Brighton burst onto the scene of the Premier League, and he's got a lot of people talking. He looks like he's got some great potential, and he could potentially play at a top club. And Manchester United are in desperate need of a striker. Could this be a profile that Manchester United should be looking at for the future? A great prospect. We could buy him as well as another striker. Maybe you want to put all your eggs in Evan Ferguson's basket. He looks very, very good. And we're going to get into what his strengths are, if there is any weaknesses, which I don't see many at the moment, and what he could actually bring to Manchester United and how good he could be in the future. So as you can see on the board behind me, he's 18 years old and he's also 6'2", which is obviously a nice thing for a striker to be. You want him to have some height, have some presence in the box. They don't always have to be tall. Me, myself, I'm 5'2", and you know what? It's great, but being as a striker, being 6'2", it can help you out in the box, especially when you're winning headers. And again, 8 games for Brighton so far, so obviously there's not much to go off. He has just burst onto the scene, but this is what you call going early for a player, seeing how good they are, seeing what they can be, and getting in there before the price goes absolutely crazy. 3 goals and 3 assists, but when you look at the actual minutes he's played, he's obviously been coming off the bench, starting and then maybe being subbed off because of his age and kind of just embedded him into the Brighton team. You can see that he's got a goal contribution every 64 minutes for Brighton, which is really, really good, especially as a player that's just come into the team. As a striker, you want to be creating goals, you want to be scoring goals, and every 64 minutes in a team that is of Brighton. By the way, I think Brighton have been quality this season. I'm really happy with the way that they're doing. I think the manager is doing brilliantly. De Zerbi is doing great, and Evan Ferguson is kind of embedding himself into this first team, and he's kind of got himself a starting spot in the starting 11, which is really good to see, and it's paying off because a goal contribution every 64 minutes. And I put aerial duels in there per 90. When I was actually looking this up, I couldn't quite get a stat on how many headers he's won in an attacking sense, but I think it was over 55% in the box of headers that he'd won, and then obviously aerial duels per 90, 2.98. So he's physical, he get himself up in the air, and a lot of people, when it comes to Evan Ferguson, are kind of touting him as he's getting thrown in there with the likes of Harry Kane. He really is. I mean, he's Irish, he's not English. I mean, he might change his nationality to the English national team. A lot of Irish people won't be happy with that. I know we have Ryan, our producer, he's Irish, and he's thinking, no, he can't change, but a lot of them do. And potentially, as he gets more recognised and continues to excel his career, maybe he might do that. Who knows? But whether he's Irish, whether he's English, he's a great player. And a lot of people are saying it's been a while since we've had a great Irish player in the Manchester United team. And it's not about what nationality he is, it's about whether he's good enough. And I think this player really, really could be, just from seeing glimpses of him so far. So he came in, he made his debut against Chelsea, and Brighton kind of picked him up and thought, you know what, we're gonna get this lad in. We know how good the recruitment is, we know how good they are at recruiting players. He came to Brighton, I think it was last season, the 21-22 season, he came to Brighton, was playing in like the Premier League 2 with the under-23s, and then has kind of made himself onto the bench, kind of made his way into the Brighton squad, and now he's actually starting games because he is very, very good. But what are his strengths? A lot of people, as I said, are comparing him to Harry Kane, and what I would say to you from watching him, he seems to have the presence of a penalty box striker. He has the movements of a penalty box striker like a Harry Kane and Erling Haaland. They're the kind of figures that are best known right now in the Premier League. But he also has the pace, and he doesn't have extreme pace, but he has pace and he has movement of someone that's really kind of agile. He can get round players, his dribbling's good, he has got some pace to him. So he's not just that penalty box striker, he also has other aspects to his game as well. We'll get on to Kane and Osimhen and whether we would still want to buy one of these players as well as Evan Ferguson if it came to the summer and we were looking at this lad, because I think it has been touted that a lot of teams, as they should be, are looking at Evan Ferguson right now. But apart from just being a penalty box striker, having really good senses in the box and knowing in what positions to be in, being a good poacher of the ball, he has great finishing. I've seen a few this season when I've been watching Brighton as well, where it just kind of skims past the post from an excellent shot from him. He's got a really good striker's instincts and he's got a great shot on him, which is important to have as we've seen, I think Darwin Núñez is a great player, but obviously he's not always been able to hit the target, and that's really important when you're a striker. I think Darwin Núñez is going to be a top striker, by the way, but you've got to be able to hit the target, and this lad definitely can. But apart from that, he's really, really, really good with his back to goal as well. So his link-up play is great. And what I mean by that is, obviously when he's back to goal, he can head it down, he can chest it down, he takes it on, and either he looks around and scans for the right pass, and usually that pass does play off for him, or he can take the ball on himself and actually maybe dribble past a few players and take a man on. He's got a lot of strings to his bow. He's not just a one-trick pony in the fact that he's always in the penalty box. He likes to be in and around it, and hence that's why he's got some assists this season as well, and that's why it's not only goals that he's providing to Brighton, it's also assists. When you look at the strength that he has as well, when I was looking at him, especially when he was playing in the Premier League 2 for Brighton, he was an absolute bully. He was constantly shoving players off the ball. He's got great upper body strength. When he's carrying the ball, it's hard to get it off him because of how strong he is. And at 18 years old, that is a really vital asset to have. And that's why he's been successful in the Premier League as well, because if you watch him in the Premier League, he's strong, he takes players on. Duels with players, he often wins them. He's not getting shoved off the ball at all. So he's got the strength there as well, which is really, really important. I mean, this guy was born in 2004. It is sort of known he potentially might be a Manchester United fan as well. There's a few little cheeky screenshots going around Twitter of him liking some United stand posts in previous years of having his Twitter account. So it is touted that he is a Manchester United fan. So that would be lovely to kind of have someone coming in who really does care about the club and has that mindset where they are a Manchester United fan and they'll love the club and play for the club and play for the club that they love. Because I always think when you're a Manchester United fan, it's like you're always going to get the effort, but then tenfold as well, because you're playing for the club that you actually love. I mean, players should give that anyway, but it's always a nice bonus to have. And then when you look at him aerially as well, I've talked about that just previously when we were looking at the stats then before. He's got a really good aerial presence. He's obviously 6'2". He's scoring goals from headers, which is really important. A lot of times maybe young players and young strikers come in and they struggle often with maybe getting the head on a cross and maybe scoring some headers. Like, that can be a struggle for players that are just kind of coming through. That physicality, he has got that physicality. He is kind of already a striker profile. He's 100% an out-and-out number 9, and he's going to score your headers off corners. He's going to, if you hang a cross up in the air, he's going to score a goal, in the words of Gary Neville, what he said in the past. So he has got that aspect to his game. So it's not only goals with his left, goals with his right, he can also head them in as well. And obviously, he is preferably right-footed, but he can score with his left too. So that is really, really important. And then when you look at the players that we've been kind of linked to this summer, we've been linked to Vlahovic, we've been linked to Kane, we've been linked to Osimhen, big names that are going to cost a lot of money. Evan Ferguson is kind of the player where I think personally, I don't think I've seen enough of him yet. I mean, a lot of Irish fans and a lot of people that are Irish and kind of watching Brighton week in, week out genuinely believe that this guy can reach the top level in the Premier League. He's that good. But right now, I think Evan Ferguson would be a brilliant player to bring in, because we need more than one striker, we do. And if you brought in the likes of an Osimhen or a Kane, it would be great for him, I think, to kind of learn from a player like that, play alongside a player like that, and hopefully eventually break through into the Manchester United starting 11. I think that could be a really good route to go down if you get Evan Ferguson and another striker like an Osimhen or like a Kane. But I do think with Evan Ferguson, it's not where you're just going to go out into the summer and buy solely him for the striker option. It's too much weight to put on an 18-year-old's shoulders, and at the end of the day there is a big difference from playing at Brighton to playing at Manchester United. He's got to have time to embed in, he's got to have time to kind of get used to playing at this level, playing in front of all the fans at Old Trafford, playing in huge games. That can't all be put on an 18-year-old's shoulders, so you would have to go out and buy one of these options as well. And I think that would be brilliant for Manchester United. If you look at Anthony Martial, too injury prone, he's never ever available, and this has been going on for a while now, so I'm just going to count him out whether we sell him or not. I love Martial, but whether we sell him or not, he's just not going to be an option for us, I don't think. He's too injury prone. Wout Weghorst, a lot of you guys want to sign him. I just don't think the end product is fully there for him to be considered a goal scoring option. I wouldn't call him a goal scoring option. He's a great squad player, but not a goal scoring option. We need a goal scoring number 9 up front. So if you think about that, realistically right now, we have Rashford who can do it, but then you're taking him out of his position on the left, where I think he's much better of a player. And I don't think Rashford's ultimate goal is going to be the number 9 for Manchester United. He's a left-sided forward. So we're in desperate need of a goal-scoring number 9 is what I'm going to basically put it bluntly. When we were linked to the likes of Sesko, he was obviously 19 and only just coming through. He wasn't good enough to be the full-on striker for Manchester United. I think with Evan Ferguson, I think, as you can see in the Premier League, he's definitely got quality, and I think he's definitely going to get there. So it'd be a great player to bring in with the likes of an Osimhen or a Kane to compete and hopefully make his way into Manchester United's starting 11 eventually. But if I was Manchester United, I would be all over this kid. I'd be trying to get him signed ASAP before he does anything else, because all the teams are going to be looking at him, because he generally does have the physical attributes and the technicality to go straight to the top as a number 9, I think, in the Premier League. The fact he's already doing it at 18 in a number 9 position, a lot of strikers start on the wing, as we've seen with previous people before. He's gone straight into that number 9 role, and he's kind of made it his own at Brighton. I think it'd be a great recruitment for Manchester United. Say if we got him for like 25, 30 mil and then went in for an Osimhen as well. I think that's what we need to do, because at the end of the day, we don't have an out-and-out goal-scoring striker in our team at the moment. But get in the comments down below what you think of Evan Ferguson, and do you think Manchester United should sign him as a striking option in the summer? Make sure you like this video, it really does help us out. Subscribe to the channel, and yeah, get your thoughts in down below, guys. We'll see you on the next one.